So welcome everybody. My name is Yannis Pliopoulos. I'm very excited to present to you the third episode of this Sailing Around webinar series, which of course have to do with sailing in Greece. I would like to welcome you to the episode number 3, which is Sailing Areas of Greece, Dodecanese and Sporades. You can say it in both ways. So before we start, just a few words about me. I'm a professional skipper here in Greece, based in Athens, Greece, and operating mainly from Athens, Greece, but sailing throughout the Greek archipelago. My job so far includes, and my working experience includes several years in the chartering business. I've spent quite some time working in the maintenance and repair sector as well, which I'm doing it currently, but on demand, let's say. In my free time, I like sailing around for my own leisure and pleasure. And of course, during winter time, when off season, my main occupation is to do boat deliveries and stuff like that. So today's episode, Sailing Areas of Greece, we're going to talk about two Greek Icelandic complexes that, to be honest with you, are often overlooked. You know, all the attraction and all the popularity goes to either the Cyclades and the Saronic or the Ionian. And you cannot blame people for that, because these places are very beautiful and fantastic for sailing and for vacation as well. Still, the Dodecanese and the Sporades have their own different beauties, and they hide their own different hidden gems, as I like to say. Now, as you can see in this map, the Dodecanese is a bit of a remote Icelandic complex into the southeast part of Greece, comprising of many islands. I was studying an article about the Dodecanese recently, and someone said that it has over 192 different islands, islets, and rocky little pieces of land that you can actually visit with your own sailboat, which makes it a sailing paradise for sailors. I couldn't believe it, even though I'm a Greek and I've been there quite some times. 192 sounds like a good deal. Anyway, now in the north and more to the central Aegean Sea, we have the Sporades Icelandic complex, which is actually a place that gains popularity each year more and more and more and more, because of the fact that all the islands over there are very compact and very close to each other. The sailing conditions there are very smooth, and generally speaking, it is a very nice place, especially for, let's say, beginners, and not only. Okay, so
Can you say it's a little bit less touristic and more classic islands in the Sporades?
I would go for that. I would surely agree with that. Since they haven't gained this much of a popularity till now, at least till now. So that makes it an ideal place, especially for those who want a calmer kind of
Yes.
vacation. Okay, I'm gonna go into kind of these details later on when I'm gonna talk for each Icelandic complex separately. So before we start, just an outline, like in the other episodes, of what is the desired outcome of this webinar, to make you have a solid grasp of the places, like the islands or the mainland spots that the area comprises. Now, when I say mainland, I refer actually to the Sporades. The Dodecanese don't include mainland spots. The Sporades are an island complex very near to the mainland of Greece. So there are some choices in the mainland as well. Now, I would like you to understand that you have different anchorage options, as I write here, where you can either enjoy your swimming or spend the whole day and night. For me, spending the whole day and night on anchor is what sailing is all about. I'm quite sure my fellow captains that we are on the same page about that. Of course, we want to go and move to some ports or whatever, especially when we have to get provisions or power or water. But still, if you can find the chance to spend the night on anchor, please do. I would like you to have a firm understanding of the local weather. I'm not gonna get into so many technical details about weather, but we have to say some basics. Then I would like you to have a clear understanding of your choices when designing your itinerary, which means that when you realize the size of the sailing area and your different choices, you're going to be making more realistic plans, more realistic itinerary planning. Okay? Now, which leads us to this, make a good planning in order to get the most out of your sailing trip, given the time, the duration of the trip, the weather, and of course the crew's preferences and desires, which, if you ask me, I think this is the hardest factor to actually fulfill, the crew's preferences. Now, in essence, what we are going to try to do here is help you design your dream sailing holidays. The Dodecanese. I'm going to start with the Dodecanese. As I said in my introduction, a very kind of remote Atlantic complex located to the very southeast end of the Greek borders, very close to the coast of Turkey. To be honest and precise, later on I'm going to talk about my favorite places over there. I haven't included some of the places that you may visit in Turkey, because, you know, since you're going to be down there, in case you're going to be down there, Turkey is so close and it offers fantastic places as well. Maybe we're going to do another episode for that, Ronan. I don't know if you.
Can you sail with your charter boat from Greece to Turkey just like that?
Yes, you can do that as long as you take special permission and inform all the local authorities of doing so. It's as if you're sailing with your own, let's say, your own private sailboat. Okay. There are some rules, some guidelines. Still, if you comply to that, you can go wherever you want. And of course, you have to carry a flag, a little flag of the visiting country, right?
Of course.
So the Dodecanese, it's a bit far away, as you can see here, from Athens. And I'm just mentioning that because I'm going to say that in the conclusion as well. Please, if you like the Dodecanese, you do your research and you decide to go over there, don't even think about chartering a boat from Athens to go down there. And I'm saying that on personal experience. I had some clients who had chartered a boat for 2 weeks. And of course, that gives you plenty of time to go down there, but still you're going to miss something. It's better to take a plane or another ferry boat all the way down to the Dodecanese, to the main marinas, which I'm going to mention these marinas later on, and start your trip from there. You're going to get the most out of it. So the Dodecanese comprises of some fantastic islands. Generally speaking, the weather down there is a little bit, let's say, it resembles a little bit more to the cycladic weather. There is the Meltemi blowing over there, but a little bit depowered. And there is kind of an oriental feeling in the temperature because the humidity is high and it tends to be warmer, especially during summer times. So you're going to get a mixture of things and civilizations down there. So let's start with the islands that comprise the Dodecanese. And then I'm going to tell you what Ronan asked me earlier, why we call them the Dodecanese. So to the south, the first island that we are going to actually observe is Karpathos, a fantastic island with this strange, very, very general shape. Over here is Crete down there. It's very close to the Crete, and Karpathos is considered to be the halfway between Crete and the Dodecanese. Many people were moving around these two areas during the past years, and this is why Crete and the Dodecanese share many similarities in terms of culture and food. Karpathos, a fantastic place, often overlooked, and to be honest, it's a little bit remote in comparison to the other ones. So when we do charters, we don't get to go all the way down there. If you find the chance, please do so, because there are more than 50 fantastic bays and shores to visit. Rhodos. Rhodos, who doesn't know Rhodos? Rhodos is supposed to be, and it is actually, the island of the knights, full of Venetian castles. The Venetian occupation, which lasted for many years, has left its significant character over there. A huge island, which actually can serve more like a starting point rather than discovering it all over, because it's very big. But I'm going to suggest one anchorage there, which is fantastic for you. If you ask me, go to Rhodos a few days before chartering your boat. Get to know the places. It's big. It's full of fantastic opportunities and choices. And then hop on a boat and get lost in the Dodecanese archipelagos. Near Rhodos, we have one of the islands that most Greeks are proud of having, and it's called Chalki. It's a hidden gem in the Aegean alongside another one, which is over here, and it's called Simi. These tiny two islands, which are to the north and to the south and west part of Rhodos, are two fantastic places, very picturesque and very beautiful, offering a fantastic experience, especially for those who don't want this kind of cosmopolitan kind of holidays, calmer, but still very interesting.
I have to say that I'm in love with Simi. So
Okay, I was about to say something about Simi, Ronan. The first
yeah, I'm in
time.
love with this island. It's
So we're not objective here. We're going to be very subjective, I guess, but who cares anyway, okay? Because you know what? The first time I remember entering Simia, I think I was like 10 years old. My parents had gotten me down there in one of their expeditions and whatever. So I still remember this feeling of entering the port of Simi. It's as if you're entering a picture of some great painter,
yeah,
It's
I have tears in my eyes when I think about
it's,
it.
she's a very beautiful island, and I'm still using the she, a feminine.
Yes,
Islands are women in Greece, right?
female. Yeah.
So she's a fantastic island and still holds her genuine and authentic character, preserving its qualities and its authenticities, but still being very touristic friendly. Okay. One other very beautiful small island around the Rhodes area is Tilos, which is another fantastic hidden gem, which offers super anchorages and peace and calm when you want it, away from the very busy areas of the Dodecanese archipelagos. We move more to the north. Now, this is an island which is actually a volcano floating. This is called the Nisiros, another fantastic place in the Dodecanese archipelago. Nisiros, as this picture is most probably taken from an airplane, of course, is very self-explanatory that this is a volcano. So you have to know at this moment a little bit of Greek geography, that Nisiros, alongside with Milos, Santorini, and Methana, which goes all the way up to the Saronic, used to be the ancient volcanic bow of the underwater Greek surface. So Nisiros is part of the same group of inactive, hopefully, volcanoes of the Greek area. A fantastic out of this world place. Now, to the more to the north, we find the island of Kos over here. Kos is another big island of the Dodecanese complex, which actually hosts one of the three main marinas of the archipelago of Dodecanese. What is significant about Kos is that hopefully every doctor that you are visiting has given an oath to an ancient guy who is called Hippocrates. So Hippocrates, who is the father of medicine, was born, raised, and did his stuff over here in Kos. There is actually a big tree over there in the Kos main city, which is said to be there from the years of Hippocrates. I'm not quite sure about that. Greeks like to exaggerate sometimes, but still, Kos is a very nice place that you can visit. Now, more to the north, it's Kalymnos. Kalymnos is another fantastic island with many, many, many great things to do over there and many anchorages to visit and places. Kalymnos was very and is very famous about its locals because they were used to practice. They were the only ones in Greece that used to practice sponge diving. They were going all the way down to the bottom of the sea to get out natural sponges. Which these days are, very hard to find, and if you find them, very, very expensive to buy. But if you go to Carpathos, most likely you're gonna, to Kalymnos, most likely you're gonna get yourself a natural sponge. I'm being objective one more time because over here, I left for the end of this slide Astipalea. So I often get asked about my two favorite islands or my favorite island in Greece. I have three. The first one is Astipalea, and then it's Amorgos. So I have to present my favorite place in Greece in terms of islands, Astipalea. We call it the Butterfly Island, a fantastic, beautiful place, a very, very, very authentic one, which still holds its traditions and its beauties. Has this funny butterfly shape, often like the island of Carpathos, often overlooked by sailors because it's a bit more far away from the Dodecanese. But trust me, you have to go over there. Among other things, the food and the cuisine is amazing. And of course, you're going to be finding a lot of sailing experiences to experience. Now, let's go more to the north, and we now find the island of Leros, a beautiful island that starts resembling more to the Cycladic kind of landscape and architecture, full of beautiful, beautiful bays and many, many, many places to visit. In between Leros and Patmos, which is over here, there is another small island called Lipsi. Very, very adventurous island in the terms that it offers fantastic anchorages and it can serve as an alternative to the busy Patmos, which you can see over here. It's a fantastic island as well, and this is a nice picture from the main port. Patmos, which is supposed to be, the island of Saint John, who wrote the Apocalypse in Patmos, according to the history. Patmos is a very, very, very cosmopolitan island with many places to offer, but many people use it as, let's say, a waypoint to roam around the Pelagos of Lipsi and the little island over here, which is called Arki, and I'm going to be into more details about that later on. So these are, roughly speaking, the main islands of the Dodecanese, because as I told you earlier, someone claims that there are 192 different places that you can go. Let's start with some basics. The marinas in the Dodecanese. The three basic and more central marinas are, of course, in Rhodes Island, Kos Marina and Leros Marina. There is also a marina in Patmos, which can serve more for like more local kind of businesses over there. So you hop on a boat from Piraeus, or you just take your charter flight directly to Rhodes or Kos, and then this is your starting point for roaming around the Dodecanese. Sailing around, and Ronan can offer you plenty of information and the correct information for you in order to get the right boat from the right place. So, as I tend to say every time, please consult your agent, your advisor, okay? For the most part, people are gathering in Kos or Rhodes and then roam around the Dodecanese, which is actually the best starting points. And again, as I told in the beginning, even if you can charter a boat for 2 weeks, please go straight down there to the area and enjoy. You're gonna find yourself in a more relaxed way compared to starting from Athens. I just have to say, Ronan, one more time that I wish I had 2 or 3 episodes for each island, but now I have to sum up the one group of islands into one episode. Actually, two groups today. So let's begin with my favorite places of the Dodecanese. Rhodos, as I told you, Rhodos serves more than a waypoint to start and sail around the Dodecanese area, but still on the east side and more to the south, there is a fantastic little bay, as you can see over here, very secluded, which is called Agios Pavlos, St. Paul, offering a calm and very nice choice to spend your night. And of course, taverns and everything you're gonna need, especially if you're sailing with your family. So when it comes to roads, I like dropping an anchor over here, most probably when I'm on my way back to the marina or when I have just started my trip to the next Dodecanese islands. Agios Pavlos roads. Halki, what can I say about Halki? As you can see from the picture, it's a fantastic place with majestic waters and very, very, very nice colors. If only I could speak about Halki and all the small islands around roads for one episode dedicated only to that. For now, I've just chosen a place which is more to the southeast of the little island. It's called Pondamos, and as you can see, it's a fantastic bay with space for everybody, an organized beach, which means that you can just take your dinghy down if you're hungry and go all the way to the taverns over there and serve yourself while enjoying these fantastic waters. Now, let's move on to the other little island, the island of Tilos. I intensively chose to demonstrate a picture from the night because some things look fantastic during the night as well. This is Agios Antonios in Tilos. It's located on the very north part of the island, which means that it actually gives fantastic coverage from the south winds, while not on the north winds. So plan your trip according to the weather and visit this place. In the morning, all this area that you can see over here serves for a fantastic anchorage that you can just drop your anchor on a very, very clear seabed, enjoy your swimming, and then on the night, move your boat on the little pier and quay over here and just relax until your next stop. Astipalea. Astipalea, as you heard me saying before, is my favorite place in the Aegean. Still, I had just to keep it basic, and what I'm gonna demonstrate right now is this area of Astipalea, the one facing the rest of the Dodecanese. Because you know what? In order to do the whole circumnavigation of the island, is gonna cost you, let's say, a few more hours. So if you want to make the most out of it, maybe this is the place that it would serve better for you. Livadia of Astipalea is a very nice bay at the south part of the island, which actually not only gives you much of space to just anchor your boat, but still, this beach that you can see over here offers many taverns, and it's the fantastic, great waypoint for you to, like just take the dinghy and walk all the way to the main city of Astipalea, which is on a walking distance of around 20 minutes. So if you find yourself in Astipalea, drop your anchor here, enjoy your swimming, eat something, and then during the night, just make this extra mile all the way up to the Hora of Astipalea. That said, Astipalea, you have to know, is a Dodecanese island that looks more than a Cycladic one rather than a Dodecanese one. And if you observe in this slide that I'm right now, Astipalea is exactly halfway there between the Dodecanese and the Cyclades which are behind the photo that I'm demonstrating. Now, I'm moving more to the north. Let's say you are in Kos and you want to go somewhere for your first stop. This is Pserimos. I didn't mention that earlier, but Pserimos is another small island the north of Kos. I'm not gonna say anything about Pserimos. Just observe the picture. Yeah. I'm gonna be useless for this demonstration. Βαθύ Pserimos. It speaks for itself. Okay, so please, if you start from Kos or you find yourself near Kos, go to Βαθύ Pserimos. Βαθύ is a very common name, and most of the islands and places in Greece have a Βαθύ for sure. Βαθύ means deep.
Deep waters, yeah.
Deep water. Although, as you can see over here, it's not that deep, but still very, very, very safe to drop an anchor and just spend the night over there. If you ask me, please do so. Now, Kalymnos, the Sponge Man Island. To the south of Kalymnos, a little bit very, very close to Pserimos, is another fantastic bay that I like going every now and then, and it's called Akti. Akti means the shoreline. Akti has fantastic colors, a big bay again, enough space for many boats. And trust me, during winter time, you're gonna be needing enough space for your boat because it tends to be very busy and packed. Still,
In the winter time?
Sorry?
Did you say winter time?
Sorry, summertime. I have to change my clock settings. Sorry. So during summertime, it's going to be very, very busy. Still not that busy like other areas of Greece, but the Dodecanese have started to gain popularity as well during the last couple of years. So you need enough space to be safe and sound and spend your night without wondering about dragging or whatever. So Actin Kalymnos, and over there, which is supposed to be the end of some river over here, there is a tavern as well, and you can just spend your night over there instead of getting into a busy port or before getting into a busy port. Another picture that I'm not going to say many words about it, Belefouti in Leros, located to the north of this fantastic little island, Leros. Once again, if you compare Blefouti to Vathi, you can see that the water is just calling for you guys to go over there. No excuse not to go over there if you find yourself into this area. Huge place. And you know what? The good thing about it is that it's very, very near either to the port of Leros, it's just a few miles away, or then you could just hop onto the boat again and go all the way to Patmos to spend the rest of the day or actually the night. Talking about the Patmos area, I can't help but mention Arki. So this is Leros over here. This is Lipsi. I was talking about Lipsi earlier. And this is Patmos. This is a very small island called Arki. And there is a small island, which is actually kind of a rocky one, on the west side of Arki, which is called Makronisi. And all these fantastic little things floating into the water. I like saying that these rocks are floating into the water.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Form actually, it's like someone just left them there, right? They form this fantastic consecutive bays that you can just go pick one of your own and just hope your anchor, drop your anchor over there and just spend the rest of your day. For me, instead of choosing places in Patmos or in Leros or whatever, I just intentionally choose to do that because it is the better way to experience this area. It is full of little islands, small rocky places that form basin, whatever. So use the main islands. I don't want to underestimate them, okay? But use the main islands like Kalymnos, Leros, or Patmos for your resting points in night, and then get out to explore the hundreds of places that are being offered to you by these small islets. As the guy in the article said, 192. Come on, guys. Okay. So Arki, which is the little island over there, and Makronisi on the other side of Arki, right across Patmos. Study your charters, study your charts, not your charters. Study your maps, okay? Keep the names, and please visit these places. You're gonna have memories, fantastic. You're gonna create unforgettable memories from over there. So for me, every time I go there, these are a few of my favorite places. As I told you in the beginning, I wish I had 2 more episodes for that, but let's go to some example itineraries, okay? I just created 2 of them. I think that's the right time, Ronan, to say that there's a special section in the Sailing Around website, which, to be honest, I haven't prepared, but I'm gonna show them in the end of the presentation, where you can go and find all the information that you need as professional skippers and enthusiast skippers, itinerary suggested, and all the advice and information you want before planning your trip into Greece. So now I'm just doing 2 sample itineraries that I like doing when I find myself down there. And in the end, I'm gonna navigate you to the Sailing Around skippers section. Now, in the first example, I'm assuming that you are starting from the island or the main marina of Rhodes. So for me, the best way to make the most out of my trip would be to spend the first night. Numbers, I have to say that here, numbers indicate nights, okay? So the first night would be better to be spent in Simi. Then second day and night, I would go all the way up to Nisiros. Then visit the north side, of course, the next day and night, the south side, of course, before I make all my way down to Tilos, and then do my 6th night on Halki before going back to Rhodes for the checkout. So it's kind of
Sounds amazing.
it's a circular kind of itinerary. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna spend 2 days on the same island. I try to spend each night on a different one, but still it's vacation. You don't have to, leave something behind for next time you come to Greece. Okay, now the next itinerary assumes that someone departs from the marina of Kos. My first stop would be in Pserimos, okay? Then I would go all the way to Kalimnos, override the islands of Leros and everything, and go straight to Lipsi. My 4th day and night would be exploring the area of Varki and all the little islands over here. Of course, 5th night, spend my night in Patmos. Then 6th night, do a stop in Leros, which I actually overrided earlier. And the last night, just back onto the Kos area before handing over my boat to the marina again. So, guys, with these 2 examples, I just wanted you to have 2 samples of how we design our itineraries in order to make the most out of it.
Can we make a short break for a question?
Of course we can.
We have a question about sailing under the Maltemi winds.
Okay.
Which are the best slots in the day to sail when you know that you have the Maltemi?
Best slots. If I understand that correctly, it means the best
times. Times.
The best times. Either early in the morning, which means between 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, or even 10, let's say 6 to 10, or late in the night, after 9:30 and until 2, okay? I wouldn't recommend sailing during the night, except if you are a very, very experienced sailor, okay? And you know your way into things and lights and signals and everything. But still, that would be my advice, because during these hours in the day, the Maltemi tends to be calmer.
Early in the morning.
If there is not any other question for now, I'm just going for a conclusion. Dodecanese offers a plethora of choices, and what is fantastic about the Dodecanese is that since it's not that popular like the Cyclades or the Ionian, it is more kind of an isolated area. And in terms of weather, Meltemi, like we were just asked about, that tends to be calmer, okay? And the thing about it is that it creates the perfect sailing conditions to be out there without caring too much about heavy winds, heavy waves, and whatever. Still, the weather resembles a little bit the central cycladic kind of weather. So just get your advices from the weather applications that you use, and always ask the locals. If you find locals, this is the best weather forecast that you can ever have, because there are many local weather phenomena taking place down there. One last thing about the Dodecanese. Dodeca in Greek language means 12. Nisia means islands. So Dodecanese actually means 12 islands. Although there are 192 different things, we still think there are 12, and we're talking about the main islands, okay? So 12 islands, if you like, you can tell them, or just brag to somebody that you know the translation when you find yourself down there. That's all about the Dodecanese, guys. And let's move on to the next area for today's episode, which is the Sporades. Sporades, which another Greek word, another Greek language lesson, means Sporades. Sporades means the scattered around, because the ancient Greeks thought that the center of the Aegean was Delos, a little island next to Mykonos, and all the other islands were Sporades, scattered around the central island. So these are the North Sporades, located very, very near to the mainland of Greece, and most specifically in an area called Thessalia. And this is the capital of, a main city, sorry, of Thessalia, called Volos. Sporades, beautiful islands that resemble most, if we had to do a comparison, and we like doing comparisons in Greece, they resemble most the Ionian, because they integrate both the blue and the green, fantastically looking islands. The island of Skiros, the more remote one compared to the other Sporades, very, very, very close to Evia Island, the second biggest island in Greece. Skiros, a beautiful place with a very, very distinctive character, and very nice places, gave birth to one of the most significant Greek literature writers. Now, more to the north, the other very, very, very well-known island, the island of Skiathos. They tend to name it the Mykonos of Sporades, of course, because it's very cosmopolitan, full of clubs, noise, dancing, and all this sort of stuff. Still very fun to sail around and spend some time over there. My personal favorite is Alonissos, which is over here, a very, very humble, let's say, place with many anchorages and little islands near it that you can explore. Again, Alonissos can be the perfect waypoint to go over the smaller islands that I'm going to talk about in the next slides, and the island of Skopelos. Why I'm doing like that? Because the island of Skopelos gained its popularity after the 2007 movie Mamma Mia. Okay, Mamma Mia was most basically filmed over here, and this is actually the rock which is hosting the little church that the wedding in the movie took place. Okay, just for the movie lovers or not, I'm going to the next one, which is actually the demonstration of the pure essence of Sporades, the little islands. Over here, this kind of heart-shaped island, which is called Skanjurat, most to the south of Alonissos, a place made out of, I don't know, paradise sand, I guess. Peristera, which is to the south of Alonissos as well, and very, very close to it, a very picturesque place, which offers fantastic food, and not only. And my personal favorite in Alonissos is Kira Panaya, which means Mother Mary, to be honest, and is actually a tiny island, which if you find yourself in the Sporades area, please don't contact me if you don't go there, okay? You have no excuse of not approaching Hirapanaya. It's a fantastic place, fantastic place. Now, the main marinas in Sporades. Once again, You arrive in Athens, you take your whatever means of transport, and you go all the way to one of these two marinas. It's approachable and closer to the Athenian marinas, but still you're gonna make the most out of your time if you go over there. Volos Marina and Skiathos Marina. Honestly, Volos serves better. Larger one, much more many choices for boats and whatever. Skiathos, a smaller one, but still closer to the islands. So Volos, which is located on the mainland, and Skiathos are the basic marinas that can serve you as the starting point in Sporades. Now, let's talk about my favorite places when I go over there. I've intentionally started with the main islands. Kolimbada in Skiros, a fantastic place located in the central part of the island, offering again huge space to anchor your boat and tavern choices. Skiros is often overlooked again and overridden by sailors. If you find the courage to do this extra mile, come over here and enjoy, and then go to the main city, a fantastic place, the Skiros main city and main port. Now, in Skopelos, Mamma Mia Island again, I chose this place to show you. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. We have, okay. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. Okay. So I cannot actually operate my slide right now. It's okay. Let's go to Skiathos Kokounarias and I'll be coming back to Skopelos. So the Skiathos Island, as I told you earlier, is an island that actually is very cosmopolitan, very busy, very noisy throughout the summertime. Still, Kokounarias is a very, very, very relaxing and very, very spacious bay that you can you can drop your anchor and enjoy your time over there. And in the Alonissos, as I told you, is my favorite island over there. I just find it very hard to pick my favorite place. Still, I chose Yerakas over here, which is located on the north side of Alonissos, which actually can serve as a fantastic stop because there is a little marina over here that you can spend the night, and a canteen, a little canteen that can actually serve you some basic food as if it is coming from another era, another time. And still, Yerakas is very close to the Kirapanaya Island, which is one of the best places that you can visit over there. Now, in the next slide, I'm going to present you the Kirapanaya Island, and this is the fantastic, beautiful bay
Amazing.
of Planitis. Tell me, Ronan.
Amazing.
Amazing.
But I wanted to tell you that since the last minute, all I'm thinking about is the imam, the dish, the Greek dish, the aubergine in the oven.
The imam, the one with the one with the vegetables.
Yeah, since you talked about food from another dimension or another.
It's a very, very tasty food, okay? And if you find the right cook, it's gonna be unforgettable for everybody.
Yeah, it's
okay?
unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Especially for the vegetarians, this is a food that doesn't contain meat, but still, actually, there's no but. It doesn't contain meat, and it's so fulfilling and full of flavors and full of the summertime sense of Greece. Now, Planitis is a bay that is located on the north side of Kirapanaya. And as you can see, it's a huge bay. You just enter this kind of canal and you just pick your spot to drop your anchor. Here in Planitis, I cannot help but remember the first time I entered here, I was doing a delivery. It was a dark night, no lights, because this is an uninhabited island. And when I just stepped out in the deck from the inside of the boat, the sky full of stars was reflecting to the water, and it felt as if it was I couldn't actually tell if I was on the earth or in the space. A fantastic place. Please go over there, get some pasta, and spend the whole night and just relax away from the busy ports and everything. Now, in Skadjura, there is a little small island to the north side across Skadjura, which is called Praso. This tiny yellow thing over there from the Navionics map is Praso. Across Praso, there is a bay, which is the Skadjura Bay. Skadjura is the island that looks like a heart. So you just pick your spot once again. As you can see, Skadjura and Planitis in Kirapanagia are very much alike. Beautiful waters, my friends. You just go there and forget about everything, I guess. Now, in Peristera, the other small island of the complex of Sporades, which is across Alonsos, my favorite spot, which of course attracts many boats, is called the Wreck, and it's actually a wreck. If you are into scuba diving and all this snorkeling sort of stuff, you definitely have to go over there. Kids are going to love it, believe me. Just put the mask on them and just go, and it's full of adventures and experiences, especially for the younger lads. Now, before closing the Sporades section, I just wanted to spot a mainland spot as well, to refer to a mainland spot as well, which is called Trikeri, which serves as a fantastic stop between Volos and the Sporades, either on your way back or on your way to the Sporades Islands. So Trikeri, Paleo Trikeri, as it is often referred, is a small island here, and this is the Bay of Pithos. For me, this is the best choice to actually stop or make a small stop before continuing my way all the way to the Sporades. I usually leave it for the end of my trip because it's a very nice area, very relaxing area. I just drop an anchor over there, cook something, and then next morning I just continue all the way back to Volos to just handing the boat again back to the base. So keep this mainland spot and look for other mainland spots here in this kind of finger that this Volos Gulf is making, which we call it Pagasitikos Gulf. Because if you take a boat from Volos, it's very important to have a stop over here, either on your way to or your way back. And speaking of ways and itineraries and stuff, I just want to show you a few more examples, itinerary examples regarding the Sporades. So in this first example, I assume that someone starts from Skiathos. For me, the best and first stop would be Skopelos. Then I would go all the way to Skadjura Island, the heart-shaped island. Then I would definitely go for this extra mile all the way down to Skiathos, and it's a bit longer than the distance of the other islands, but it's worth doing it, trust me. Now, all the way back to Peristera to actually visit the wreck, most likely. Then Kirapanagia and Planitis Gulf before going to Alonissos, and then last night to Skiathos, back to Skiathos to deliver the boat to the base. So this is the itinerary that assumes that you're starting from Skiathos. I prepared another sample one. I'm assuming that you are starting from Volos. Better do it early, better do an early check-in if you start from Volos, and then leave behind the Trikeri that I just showed you a few minutes ago, all the way to Skiathos. Next night, I would spend it in Alonissos, the next one in Kirapanagia, the next one in Skadjura before going to Skopelos, and then have sufficient enough time to spend my last night, or actually the sixth night in Trikeri before returning my boat to Volos. This itinerary doesn't include Skiathos, but still we're going to make the most out of all the area. These guys were the Sporades, and this is what I was actually I would like actually to talk to you about the Sporades, and it's very important for me. Sporades is a very, very special area, very special territory being protected by environment laws and special regulations which actually apply to motoring and everything. This is an area where the seals, the monachus seals, are being reproduced like the caretas are doing in the Ionian. So before going there, ask for the special regulations that actually are being applied to this area. On the Navionics map, there is a very, very, very specific instruction and designated area that instructs you how to motor around these places. It's very important from the environment, and part of the fact that it's important is because it still holds its beauty. This area holds its beauty because of the respect of the people who go over there. Now, in a more fun note, let's say that Sporades are smaller islands, ideal, as I said before, for the beginners. The weather conditions over there, especially regarding Meltemi, are very, very, very calm compared to the open sea of the Cyclades and the Dodecanese. And you know what? You will still have sufficient time to discover the islands as well, which means you have enough time to go for a swim, drop an anchor, and then do a walk around the actual islands, which in bigger ones you don't have this opportunity. You just roam around and sail around them by your sailboat, and then just spend the night on the board. They serve for both kinds of vacation, sailing and walking, let's say. Okay, so try them. You're not gonna be disappointed. I would say that you're gonna be excited. I tried to make the most out of the time had here, Ronan, okay, and my fellow skippers. As always, first season following wins. I'm here to answer to all your questions and inquiries, please.
Yeah, now it's a time for questions. One of the skippers, female skippers in this case, she wants to have your email. So with your permission, I will send her your email.
Of course. Permission granted. Kastanis Kopelos, I owe you that. Sorry, guys. Just got back into my slide. Kastanis Kopelos. This is the area that I wanted to demonstrate to show you in Skopelos. Another fantastic bay that for some reason my PowerPoint slide didn't work when I was presenting that. Okay, keep the name. It's going to be on the video as well.
You wanted to present the sailing around the skipper's place.
This is exactly what I'm gonna do right now, guys. Sorry, I hadn't this prepared. So I'm here in the sailingaround.com site. This is the main page. Just scroll down a little bit, and you're gonna find your favorite place over here, which is called the Skipper's Library. You just click on the image, and you find yourself in front of a treasure of information, professional information for skippers, including suggested itineraries, okay, information regarding the weather, information regarding equipment, and all this sort of stuff. So sailing around, main page, scroll down, skipper's library, and then you have everything you need before planning your trip, not only in Greece, but I guess everywhere.
We have a question from James. James is asking about Loutraki. Is it a good port to stay in Skopelos?
A good port to stay in Skopelos. Very interesting
Yes.
question. I believe that our friend has some information about that, because Skopelos got very famous last year because of a video of incoming waves taking the boats literally out of the marina. Okay, this can happen to every port and every marina. It depends on the weather. Skopelos is not a good port when being hit by south winds.
Okay. Another, thank you very much for your email. So please contact me with via WhatsApp, my email through the site, and I will share Yanis' email if you like. But please contact me. Yanis is our business associate in Greece, and
Proud to be. I have to say that.
So just contact me, and I will send you Yanis' email. Okay, I think that's it. It was beautiful, Yanis. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending our webinars. Thank you, Ronan, for this opportunity once again.
It was beautiful as always. Thank you all for being with us this evening. Yeah, just contact me. My phone number, no problem. You can go to sailingaround.co.il, sailingaround.com, and you will find me. But you can find me also here. And here. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all. Everybody saying thank you, Yanis.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here once again. And please visit the Sailing Around website, do your reservations. We are expecting you here in Greece to create unforgettable moments, okay?
Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.